Rockstar Marketing does is we're storytellers. And I think one of the key aspects of what we do is we interview our clients before we write their content. I would say that the strategy in helping our clients get their story out, it really does start with that initial conversation with the client. I'll give you an example. So what our agency does, what Rockstar Marketing does is we're storytellers. And I think one of the key aspects of what we do is we interview our clients before we write their content. And what I mean by write their content is like the content for the website. So that's one of the things we are known for in the industry is writing SEO content, the actual words that go on to the different pages of a website. And during that initial onboarding, if you will, the team between Jennifer and two of our writers, they all are listening to the client in these initial interview, and they're taking notes. While the interviewee, the client, is talking, eventually, like every auto repair shop will tell you just about the same thing, like in that first hour, hour and a half. But then as you're talking and chatting, you really get to pull it out of them like at the very end or after like an hour or two of them talking. And so I think that's what they do well, is they're able to get them to tell their story through that process. Because I think what happens is, and I've gone through this myself a lot, I'll take just a slight diversion here, but I'm a dance teacher as well. My wife and I also teach dance. And a lot of times you're not analyzing what you're teaching or what you're learning as you're doing it. But when you're trying to teach someone else, then like these little nuggets come out, right? And so during my process of just like explaining what it is I do as a teacher, for an example, as a dance teacher, I'll learn, oh, I didn't ever realize that because I'm now looking at it from a different perspective. So I think the client, when we're interviewing them, they're now talking about it in a way that's not like, well, it's not so informational like when they're explaining to their client, you need to fix this, we need to fix this, or we need to do this because of that. Now they're actually able kind of like to talk about it in a way that will pull out more from them. I think that's how that process works, is it gets them comfortable to where they start talking more and more about why it is what they do, as opposed to just what it is that they do, which I think is a very key component to helping them understand where the inspiration comes from, why it is they do what they do, and the motivation, going forward, if they're going to work with us.
And I also hear she's a great listener too. I mean, you have a little bit more inside details on that. Do you agree? What do you
Oh,
think? Jen is an amazing listener.
yeah, she's a superb listener. Yeah, she is. She's a writer, she's a listener, she's a Toastmaster. She's able to do all of that when it comes to that relationship building, because it's a two-way conversation, right? You're talking, but you're also listening a lot. And I think that is one of her key strengths, and being able to kind of take the experience that she has up to this point of working with clients and being able to figure out what is that why, or how to get that out of them. I wish I had that. I have a little bit of it. I have more of it when it comes to the visual and creative side. But at that point, I really know what their why is, and I get more of a feeling. And I'll also add to that, we also visit our clients. And that adds another layer of getting to know someone. I mean, over the phone is awesome. Over Zoom is great. And through COVID, that's all we did was Zoom. But like I mentioned earlier, we have been traveling a lot. Like, we have flown to Florida. We've been in Idaho. We've been in Washington. We've been in Colorado, and we've got clients in those places. So we're not a huge marketing agency, but we're a smaller, tight-knit that has clients that we really bond with, I think, and get to know, and we visit them. So we're not just online for the sake of being online. Like, we will actually go and see them, because again, it's not like they fly us out there. It's like this relationship building experience, right? And so
Yeah.
we get to see them. We've had dinners with them. We've been to their homes. Not that that's necessary, but when you are building clients, you're building, relationships. And I think that just happens as part of like, people like working with us, and we like working with them. And so we become friends, and like, we still keep business, but we also understand that there is a relationship building, and we try to nurture that as much as we can. And if it leads to like meeting in person, I think that's great. I think that's great. It can only help strengthen the understanding of who they are and who we are, and we just reinforce more and more what it is, that we can bring.